Good evening. It is our very first live stream for the year 2021. Today or tonight is January 11, 2022. Um, the question now is, are you into FMA or Filipino martial arts, amulet culture, the outdoors, uh, and bushcraft as well, including tribal apparel or perhaps Philippine prehistoric cultures, Anito culture, etc. By the way, I'm Jason, your host. This is Hagbayon channel, a channel devoted to uh, culture and history, current events, business, literature, music, particularly rock music, um, martial arts, blade culture, the outdoors, prepping, survivalism, etc. So going back, are you into Filipino martial arts, amulet culture, the outdoors, bushcraft, tribal apparel, our Philippine Anito or pre-Hispanic culture? Uh, I used to ask my class, my literature classes in or at Ateneo, as to which is the most important era in in Philippine literature, and I was expecting them to answer pre-Hispanic Philippines, pre-Hispanic Philippines, because there is indeed need for more materials about syllabary, oral tradition, cultures, pre-Hispanic cultures, etc., literature, poetry, and other practices before the Spaniards actually arrived in the Philippines. There's a need for us to study and, for to some extent, actually reclaim that part of our history and culture. All right. The question now is, what is wild boar tooth for? Our topic for tonight kasi is wild boar tooth or fang. Well, amulet culture, as per amulet culture, it is believed by Filipinos, even Bicolanos, that wild boar tooth, when worn as a sort of a pendant like this one, can serve, you know, as amulet to ward off negative entities, negative spirits, negative elementals, and uh, pendants like this one could also serve as a kind of a talisman or a lucky charm, and in fact can prevent uh, various types of conflicts from affecting the wearer or the bearer, in the sense that any possible problem or conflict with other people, okay, according to oral lore by Filipinos and Bicolanos alike, it is believed that those possible problems, those possible conflicts won't happen anymore. So, therefore, the boar tooth, when worn, can actually be a kind of a preventer, you know, preventer of conflicts and problems. Well, as per Filipino martial arts, Likewise, since many of our schools in Filipino martial arts also believe in amulets and the so-called talisman culture, agimat, etc. Wearing wild boar tooth can actually enhance not only your warrior attire but your efficacy as a fighter as well, in the sense that it will make you faster and it will make you more skillful and you know crafty. If you are a hunter or perhaps a member of the indigenous peoples here in the Philippines or here in Bicol who are indulged in rituals and ritualistic hunting of wild boar, because as we know they are actually allowed by law to hunt these animals, because they it's part of their culture and it's part of their rituals. They could attest how difficult it is to actually catch a wild boar or Baboy Ramo or in Bicol Opon or Baul, because of the almost superhuman ability of the wild boar in trying to escape or in running or in preventing itself from getting ensnared by the hunters. And likewise, the hunters can attest as to the bravery, you know, you know, the valor of the wild boar in fighting the hunters up to its last roar or last breath. So somehow it is believed by some practitioners of Filipino martial arts, including the Cimarrones. It is believed they believe that uh, uh, wild boar tooth can actually enhance their not only their warrior apparel but also their skills. As per as per outdoorsmen, what is wild boar tooth for outdoorsmen? Um, as per hikers, campers, mountaineers, well, at first they can serve as kind of a souvenir uh, from their friends, their IP friends, indigenous peoples who are actually their friends, and you know it can enhance also their tribal, look, tribal look, because wearing this would actually make you feel a little bit more tribal and more attuned with the forest, with nature, etc. It would make you look like the part you're trying to play as a mountaineer, camper, hiker, etc. So that's it. Actually, some outdoorsmen also have some skills in making pendants or in make crafting necklaces with wild boar tooth pendants and other types of pendants. So shout out to my friend Jojo Villarreal, who is an outdoorsman and a gifted maker of necklaces with with snake bone, wild boar tooth, etc. He also has a YouTube channel. You might want to check his YouTube channel. What is wild boar tooth as per what is wild boar tooth for as per native apparel and bushcraft? Okay. You see, there are Filipinos who are really taking seriously the research on Philippine prehistory or on the so-called Philippine studies. They are not only writers, they are not only academicians, researchers, and scholars, but they are also people who actually uh, put into practice some of these indigenous beliefs, uh, shamanism, healing practices, and apparel also, and other types of rituals. So there, for them, it is important to actually look the part as well. Okay. Apart from the fact that they may also be believers on amulet culture, Philippine amulet culture, they may actually be Filipino martial arts because, supposedly missing because of almost, more than 500 years of colonial subjugation from the Spaniards. Okay, let me now show you some samples. You know, as a researcher, an academician, and writer, I also get some gifts from indigenous peoples in the form of like a tribal apparel, or, for example, snake bones. What else? Nothing, nothing else but uh, wild boar tooth. I also get gifts from them. Well, for one, I'm actually wearing one. This one is from somewhere near Karamoan here in Camarines Sur. So, you see, I made this into a pendant already. Let me show you more. This one, I'm also wearing this. I think you have seen this before. Yeah, a smaller one, which actually looks really cool because the size is just right. And I also included a vintage M1 Grand slug that I found in the year 2020 at Mount Isarog during that I found at Mount Isarog during a hike. So because this is vintage, and because I'm also into history, um, particularly World War II history, I was very much delighted to have found this. And it is quite rare to find M1 Garand slug. It is quite small and a little bit difficult to find unless you are into spelunking, and you may find them on caves. Another one is this one. Okay. Also given to me by an IP friend, indigenous peoples, Agta, Mount Aso. So really nice. Okay. Okay. Let's have some more. In my recent expedition at the Partido area, I also found some more. By the way, no, this one is from Mount Isarog, from my Cimarrones friends out there. Okay, Cimarrones, the tribes, the tribe that actually defied is Spanish rule. This one is from Partido. This is actually this has a pair. Something like that. You can make this into a proper pendant because it has a pair. Let's find the other. Also from Partido area because my uncle, okay, has friends who are indigenous peoples and who are into ritualistic hunting of these items. Like this one as well. This one has no pair. The size is just right. I have a friend who can actually turn it into a proper pendant. Something like this one. Also, this one has no pair, but also nice. Smaller ones would look like this. Mm. This is actually a pair. This is also a small boar tooth. Could also be a pair. This one is just, without a pair. Right. Let's now put it inside our bag. So there, can also show you the one from Kalinga. Okay. You might want to check my vlog on this one. It's beautiful. It's actually a knife as well. A neck knife. It's actually a neck knife, you see. Let's now close it. This one is also from the Cordilleras. Yeah. This is Hinalong. It's actually a knife. So, talking of Filipino martial arts and amulet culture. So, this actually articulates both Filipino martial arts, particularly Cordilleran fighting arts, and amulet culture. We also vlogged about this, and watch out for it. It will come out soon. Right. Well, I think it's time to call it a night. Jason here for the Hagbayon channel and TMS Talks. How are you? Happy New Year, and I hope you are all doing fine and you are taking great precaution against the spread of this variant called Omicron variant. Omicron variant. Oh, sorry. Variant, I mean COVID-19 variant. And I hope you are all safe and perhaps fully vaccinated or with the boosters to boot. By the way, this channel is devoted to current events, the outdoors, culture and history, etc. Filipino martial arts, the outdoors, rock music. Remember, the pen is mightier with the sword. Thanks for watching.